Hello and welcome to this section. In this section, we are going to build the authentication screens and it is going to look just like this. First, we can start with building the login screen. To do this, we have to go to the views folder. And what we can do is we can make the views folder very organized and clean. Within the views folder, we can create a new folder and we can call this screens. Then within the screens folder, we can create a new folder and we can call this authentication_screens. The authentication screens folder will basically contain two files, that is the login screen and the register screen. Now within the authentication screens folder, we can create a new file and we can call this login_screen and the extension is dot dot. In order to create a screen, we can either use a stateless widget or a stateful widget. In the future, you will fully understand the difference between using a stateless widget or a stateful widget. For now, we can go ahead and create the login screen using a stateless widget. And it is asking for the name, and we can call this login screen. And the reason for this error is because it wants us to import the material.dat package. To easily do that, alight and use Ctrl and dot and import from material.dat package. And instead of returning this, we want to get rid of it and return a widget known as scaffold. The scaffold widget will create the layout on how the login screen will be built. And also, by returning the scaffold widget, it will give us access to a lot of predefined components such as the body, and what we want to do next is to have a widget known as column. And the reason for this column is because we want all our widgets to be displayed vertically. That is from the top to the bottom. And also another reason for this column is because the column can take more widgets. Okay, and the reason it can take more widgets is because within the column, there is a property known as children. And for the first widget or the first property, it is going to be a test widget. And it is asking for the data. And in order to add the data, we have to round it either with a single quote or a double quote. And the data will be login your your account. Okay, and use Ctrl and S to save, and we can go ahead now and make use of this. To make use of this, we have to go to the main.dot, and we can go ahead and delete the my home page class, get rid of it, and now we should have this error because it is no more, and you can see it is not in existence anymore. So we can get rid of it and we can make use of the login screen and hot restart this. Okay, waiting for this to hot restart, and then after we can move on with our lives. And we should see login your account over there. Okay, now back to the login screen. Within the column, there is a property known as main axis alignment. And we can then say main axis alignment dot center. And this will take all the widgets within it to the center vertically. And you should say it over, okay? And what we can do is we can wrap this column with a widget known as center. And whenever you wrap a column with a center widget, it will take it to the center horizontally. Now use Ctrl and S to save and you should see it somewhere here. Okay, great. Add your comma in order to give this a very nice format. Within the test widget, there is a property known as style, and the reason for this style is because we want to style this test, and we can then have the test style. And first we can change the color of the test, and we can say color, and we can use some codes over here. This is going to be 0 S F F 0 D 120 E, capital E, sorry. Okay, use Ctrl S to save now, and let's see what will happen. Okay, the color has changed, and we can give this a font width, and we can make this bold. We can say font width dot bold. Use Ctrl S to save, and it is bold now. And we can give this some letter spacing. That is the space we need between each letters. And we can just say 0.2. We don't want it to be that obvious. And we can also increase the font size to make the text big. And we can say 23. And use Ctrl S to save. And let's see. Great. And we can also make use of the Google font. To make use of the Google font, instead of text style, we can call the Google font. Okay, then dot get font. Okay, now within the get font, this property also do exist, and that is why there is no error. And the reason for this error is because there is a property we need to pass, that is the font family we want to make use of, and we want to make use of the lato, lato. Use Ctrl S to save now, and sorry. Okay, we got this error. Got okay, get font. I don't think it is error. Now you can see that error basically crashed my app. And to get rid of that, we can go to this. Okay, click on this and turn off this. Okay, now whenever there is an error, instead of crashing your app, it will throw the error to your debug console. Okay, now let's go ahead and hot restart this, or probably you did not get that. And hot restarting, or it's restarting, and it has auto restarted, and great, now we have the font. Okay, now the reason there is no error is because within the Google Fonts.get font, these properties also exist. Okay, great, now we want to have another test. Remember, the major purpose of this column is to allow us to take in more properties. So this is the first test widget we have. Right after it, we want to have another test widget. And this is going to say to explore the word exclusives. Okay. And use Ctrl S to save, and waiting for this. Okay, great. We have that over there. And also we can style this. And since we will be using Google Fonts, we can go ahead and say Google Fonts dot get font. And it is asking for the font family as the first property. And this is going to be Lato. Okay, and also what we can do is we can give this a color as well. And it is going to be the same color with this, and paste. Sorry, over color and paste. Okay, and the next property we can have is the font size, but this time around we don't want it to be that big. And also we can give some letter spacing of 0.2. Use Ctrl S to save, and okay, great. And what we need to do next is to display the image. Okay. In order to display image, there is a property in Flutter known as image. And over here, we have varieties of ways we can display or render image. We have image.asset, we have image.file, we have image.memory, and we have image.network. Currently, we are interested in the image.asset because the image is within our assets and it is asking for the name that is the part. And to get that image, it is located at assets, then images, sorry. And let me check the name of the image. Okay, this is the image we want to display, illustration.png. In order to avoid errors, what we can do is we can copy the name in order to avoid a spell mistake. And we can paste this and the extension is .png. And within the image.assets, there is a property known as width. The width simply determines the horizontal size of the image. That is how wide the image is going to be. And we can say we want it to be 200 wide. And also within the image.asset, there is a property known as height. And the height simply determines the vertical size of the image. That is how long the image is going to be. And we can also say 200. Now use Ctrl and S to save and let's see what we will get. Okay, great. We got that over there.